What's up, peoples? So, haven't done a video in a while, and I know. And we're going to go ahead and just knock one out. We're going to do another little just chit-chat and hang out. And, well, that's kind of just boring, too, so we're going to do something fun to go along with it. So, figured we'd do a little weapon cleaning while we're at it. I've been needing to do it for a while, and might as well. We're not going to tear them completely down. The M4, I am going to tear down completely, at least to the bolt. And the handgun just needs to be basic cleaning, a little lube, and it'll be all set. So while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and just get started. So I got my all-in-one perfect plate. So I've just been watching everything and seeing what's been going on with the world and how everyone's thinking and seeing how everyone's been doing. What's everyone been up to? How's everybody got things going on? And we'll see if we get anybody to actually tune in with us. Let me bring up the chat feature real quick so we can see if anybody's talking to me. I don't think we have any viewers right now. No. So, yeah, let's see. Nope. I don't even think anybody's watching it. Oh, well. Well, we're still going to go ahead and do this. Just because it's a live broadcast doesn't mean we have to do it like a live broadcast. This is just easier to do. It's easier to record like this straight up to YouTube. Yep. All right. Dinner waiting for us. So I'm watching Bushes of Love. Who's it? By Bad Lip Reading. I love this song so much. I got it on the 10-hour loop. So that's going on in the background. I love that. So if you see me breaking into it, that's what I'm doing. Every day I worry all day. Let's see. I love tearing down my weapon. It was one of my favorite things to do in the Army, was cleaning my weapon after we went to the range. It was very relaxing, calming after such a stressful day of run here, run there, run here, run there. So I always found, like I said, my weapon cleaning was, I enjoyed taking care of my weapon too. I really did. So, like I said, we're going to start with the, probably just the... And I'm not an expert on these weapons, so I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about them. The M4, I am very skilled and qualified on. The other weapons, the other gun, it's just a simple handgun. It's pretty cheap, but it does what I need to do. But we're going to go ahead and start by, of course, clearing the weapon. Okay, one more time. Look down. Barrel's clear. All right. Separate the rounds, just for safety. So like I said, with this one, though, all we're going to do is just clean it. But what's been going on in the world lately? A lot, I guess. Everyone's still kind of upset about this whole Trump thing. And, you know, I don't think it should be that big of a deal. I mean, I understand people didn't want him as a president. But you got to remember, on the flip side, a lot of people did. I'm not going to say I was a huge Obama supporter. I was hoping I was going to be wrong about what I thought about him, and I was praying I was. And I really wasn't. He did what I expected, but do remember, though, that, I mean, these people are rioting because they don't like Trump. Can you imagine what it's like to be in the military and you don't like your commander-in-chief? The guy tells you what you're going to do, even if it's against what you like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, again, yes, I signed up for it, so I knew what I was getting into, and that's absolutely true. It is. I did know what I was getting into when I signed up. Oh, I forgot I broke this one. Alright, we're going to do this just another way. But that's whatever. What are you going to do about it, huh? Lubricating oil. You know what? We're not going to start with the 9mm. That's a 45. We're going to start with the M4. I really enjoy doing this, and it's something I'm comfortable with and I don't have to think about. So I'm going to you guys. This is Raven. She's my baby. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay, safety first as always. The weapon is on safe. And we're going to lock the bolt to the rear. And the chamber is empty. We're going to ride the bolt forward. Close the dust cover. Okay. Because I ain't had to beg for a girl in a long time. a long time. Probably loved a honky tonk. I was hoping some people would join in so we'd have something to talk about, but it's just me hanging out here by myself at the big house. So not a whole lot going on here. Kind of bored. So I decided to broadcast. I was been on YouTube like all day today. And I was like, man, you know, if I'm on YouTube, it's not fair that I do this. If I have time to watch YouTube, I should have time to definitely make a video and talk to you guys and hang out for a bit. And I was like, you know what, let's do that. So I'm having a problem right now. This front pin is really tight. So I normally have my Gerber somewhere around here, but I don't know what I did with it. So we're just gonna get the little handy Swiss Army knife out here. When I was in the Army, I very rarely pulled this button or this pin out. There's really no need to do it, other than maybe to clean it out just once in a while. But I mean, I just pulled it out and it's still nice and clean, lubrication in there, and you can see the gas chamber recoil tube. Maybe I don't know if you can see it or not. It's in there. Well, let's see. There it is. Okay. So that's what happens is the way this weapon system works is that there's that tube that we just showed you, and it runs down to the length of the barrel here. And when you fire the weapon, some of the excess gas that comes out... Wait, and this sight is off. No, that's fine. It's fine. So when the gas comes out from the expansion of the burning of the gunpowder, there's excess pressure that comes off, and some of that pressure goes back down through this tube and comes back around, and that's what pushes the bolt back and recharges the weapon. Of course, you guys knew that, but, you know, maybe some people out there don't. So we're going to go ahead and give that a good cleaning, and I bet it's got a good bit of carbon from last time I went and fired it. And then there's the lower receiver, and go ahead and put the weapon on fire, and I'm going to ride up the trigger mechanism there. And that's as far down as it's as far down as I tear this piece. The bolt, I'm going to fully disassemble. And there's the bolt. And that's the gas where the gas comes in, and when the weapon goes forward, this rams it back, and the gas pushes it forward to charge the weapon again. So, disassemble of these. These are why the military chose these style of weapons. It's not that this weapon was designed, it's just very functional. So, to disassemble this, all we really have to do is there's one pin right here on the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that little pin. I found that a good trick is a little bobby pin, and you just feed it through the bobby pin, and then it stays right there, and you won't lose it. Alright, then you, I forget the name of these things 100%, and I'm sure my drill sergeant would be kicking my butt if I did. But drop the firing pin out. That's the actual firing pin. And I remember if I was in the military, we were told never to let these actually hit the ground, like drop and fall, because you could actually then ruin the firing pin. And each firing pin, you can interchange firing pins, but I've heard that it's not recommended, that after a while each firing pin gets more, somebody joined us, finally, we got a viewer, good to have you with us. Like I said, we're just kind of chit-chatting and I'm hanging out, and I decided to tear apart my weapons and clean them today. So we're tearing apart the M4 right now. Not a whole lot, we're down to the firing pin. So, once the firing pin's out, there's a little block over here. We can talk about anything, though. I've noticed that the riots are starting to calm down a little bit. We were discussing that earlier, and I'm glad to see that. But I'm still having issues with why all that was going down. But oh well. Yeah, there's a lot of carbon on here, so I was lazy and I hadn't cleaned my weapons. The last time I shot it, I usually come home right away and clean them immediately after, and I was being lazy and I didn't. So I got lots and lots of carbon on here. Probably love the honky tonk. Love that part. Alright, now, in the military, from what I understand, this is as far down as you go. You don't tear down the actual extractor any farther than that. But being that I went to the military a little sooner before they stopped doing that, we were told we can. So I know how to do it. I'm going to go ahead and just do it because I got nothing better to do. We're going to clean that as well. And all that is just one little pin, which do not lose these little pins. You lose that pin and your life is over. You got to go see armament. And they make it sound like it's a big deal if you lose pins, but I have a feeling that they keep these things on hand like crazy for privates like you. That's just a big cow. He really wants a bun to hold you, but they all got a chicken duck dead and waiting for us. Every day I worry all day. I know this isn't very entertaining. I know. But you know what? This is what I'm doing. And I'm hanging out and I'm having fun. So, whatever. What's some of the stuff that I think about? I don't know, man. I think about weird stuff. Anybody else think about weird stuff? Comment below if you think about weird stuff. And then tell me, you know what? Comment below if you think about weird stuff, and then tell me something weird you think about. Maybe what you're thinking about is what I'm thinking about, and we both think it's so weird, and that's why we don't say anything to anybody, because we think it's weird. But it's not. That a lot more people than we know actually talk and think like us. So who knows? Who knows? I'm happy to see that people in my British fan base is going up, and I have to say that's all thanks to Brad. He's been a huge supporter, and he helps me out a lot, motivational wise. Oh, finally got it. All right, so that's the little pin I was talking about. It's little itty bitty. It's just a little itty bitty cotter pin, but you lose it, and the whole weapon system doesn't work. So, and then once that's out, that piece comes out. Now see, this is really cool. The Army had a little spring that was inside of here on our weapon systems there, and this one doesn't. It's just got a little bevel. The spring is actually set. Oh, that is the spring. It's just a little buffer. That is so nifty. It's all built into it in one piece. That is so nifty. It's gonna make it so much easier to never lose that piece. So we're gonna clean out the carbon that's in here. Into the boards and had to change them. Now got a chicken duck waiting for us. And every guy knows about you gotta have your CLP. No, gotta have your CLP. Now, you know what? And while we're at it too, I forgot. I've got the other bolt system for my weapon that allows me to fire 22. So we'll probably go ahead and give that one a good scrubbing, and that's it right there. So this one replaces this system, and as far as I can tell, it tears down almost the same way. It doesn't look too much more difficult, so I can try tearing it down for the first time. But this basically just gives a shorter recoil, so that this goes into the breech a little farther. So that's kind of like the shape of one of the bullets. So as you can see, and so that goes into the breech, and then when you charge the weapon, it gives a new firing hole so that the smaller 22 round can the smaller 22 round as compared to the 5.56 or 223 standard round would be. So that's what it allows it to do by switching these out. And this is about this is cheap ammo. I go shooting with it just for fun, plinking around. And it's about $6 for a box of 50, which isn't too bad. Or I can get a box of about 100 to 200 of these for about $5-10. So I can go shoot all day with these on a different magazine. Same magazine system. It's just got a smaller feed as compared to the standard size magazine. And you know what? Everyone talks about 30-round magazines, and there's you know what? 30-round magazines is actually not good to have 30 rounds in a 30-round magazine. People don't know that. It's actually good to have about 20 to 25. It's better for the spring. But you can max expand. People, why do you need a 30-round magazine for hunting? Well, first off, the weapon isn't meant for hunting. I guess we're going to go down this path if we're going to talk about guns. A 30-round magazine is not meant for hunting. But why, if you ask a legitimate question, I'm happy to give you an answer of why would I need a 30-round magazine for hunting? And the simplest answer I've ever come up with is just in case I want to shoot 30 deer and not reload. Because it's only going to, I only need one. That's a bit of a joke. Don't get all serious about it and all upset. But yeah, so it's cheaper to go shoot the 22s. I can go plinking all day with these, or squirrel hunting, maybe little bird pheasants, something fun. It does kill the accuracy. I've noticed that the bullets always go higher. And here's something people don't know. I'm going to teach you guys something a little bit about these. People think that when you shoot these bullets, you know, like in the video games, you see somebody and they do a shot. And I know that in like modern warfare you may have to adjust for it, but what they don't adjust for is this type of bullet doesn't fly straight. It does, sort of. Alright, so this bullet will fly straight to about 150 meters, or about 3.3 feet per meter times meters. So about to 150 meters, this bullet will go about straight once it leaves the barrel. And then it does something. At about 150 meters, the bullet's going straight, and then it starts to rise. The bullet climbs. So when you're shooting at about 250 meters, you want to shoot low on the target. So if you want to aim for center mass, you're going to want to put it in the pelvis region because the bullet's going to be traveling up. So if you shoot it and it goes out, the bullet's going to be on a high arc. Then at about 250 meters, once it reaches that, the bullet then starts to drop again. So you've got this arc that the bullet makes. So when you're shooting these distances, you have to factor that in. And a lot of the video games don't portray that. I know that some games have to make you work with windage and curve of the earth, which is cool. But curve of the earth, you really don't have to start worrying about until up to a mile. So that's really not going to come into play. And I think that's only like, it's a small number for it. 1 second. But that's just at least this round. I'm not talking about all bullets. There's so many different types of ammunition and different weapons out there. I couldn't do that tell you accurately, so I'm not going to claim like I know everything about it. I'm just telling you what I do know. And I couldn't do cleaning a weapon without smoking a cigarette. So, all right, so we're back to cleaning though. This is probably going to be a long broadcast, so I'm not going anywhere. So, alright, I do need to do some shout-outs, I guess. It's probably been a while. As always, we want to shout out to the usual big peoples that help support me on YouTube. We want to shout out to That's Brad. We want to shout out, of course, to Pam and Rick. Edward Travels. Always want to shout out to him. I love Edward Travels' and stuff. Guy's lucky. He gets to go all over the world traveling and seeing really cool stuff. Good man. Red Mustache Gaming. All the people that play with me on Xbox. John Miller, #1 in the world uninfected, Call of Duty Ghost. Yeah, Miller. Dale boca. A long time. I wonder where everybody is tonight, you know? Usually we get a few people jumping in on my... Probably left a honky tonk. You know what I think about weapons? Weapons responsibility is awesome. I think it's amazing. It teaches kids a lot about responsibility for the weapons. I've been shooting weapons since I was... When did Dad take me to start shooting weapons? I probably shot my first gun when I was 6, and it was a little pistol. And, you know, my dad always taught me proper gun safety and how to respect a weapon system. And one thing he always made us do was he always made us help take care of the weapons afterward. We clean them and stuff like that. And that's important because you have more respect for stuff when you understand how it works. And at least I do. So all right. So we're gonna pad up here, and then we're gonna run it through the barrel. We'll see how much gunk we get out. I probably shot about 500 rounds. Nah. Probably put about 300 rounds through it last time we went shooting. Alright, so we got it all nice and clean. Nice and clean pad. And we're going to hit it with a little bit of CLP here. Move that up a receiver. Alright. CLP goes a long way. You don't want to use too much because then what's going to happen is you're going to have a phenomenon called weapon bleed. And I found out about weapon bleeding in a basic training because I put too much cleaner on my weapon. Uh-oh, is this one too big to go down my barrel? It is. This one does not fit down my barrel. That's something too you got to realize. I broke the smaller one. So we're going to have to improvise. But that's okay. I'm really good at that. So we're going to take this. I'm just going to take the pad then. And I found a find waiting for me around the corner. No, no, no. And we're just going to run it down through the barrel. There we go. So we've got it into the barrel. Not too bad. And we'll run that through one more time. Every day I worry all... Oh, actually, that wasn't it. I got stuck right here. It pushed through it. Yeah, that's what happened. Tore straight through. Dang it. Well, we can still make it happen. Here's all we're gonna do. We're gonna take the broken one. So we'll take the broken one. And I'm gonna feed it down the barrel like that. And then just use this to ram it. Same principle. And we'll catch it on this end. And there she blows. Now let's see how much carbon we got out of there. Yeah, I got a little bit of carbon out of there. So we'll fold it over. And these gloves tore. Cheap gloves, what are you gonna do?